we're going to talk about another important frame going into failure. And this is why actually failure is really, really important, and it's a necessary part of the process, which is I don't know of anyone personally, specifically in business, that has not failed in business. And there's different magnitudes of failure, right? So one degree of one degree could be you hire someone in your business and you hire the wrong person. So now you've cost yourself because you paid that person didn't work out, you lost momentum in your business. Now you got to go back and hire someone else. And now you actually have to work a little bit more in the business because of the fact that that person didn't work out. Like that could be one degree of failure, right? Another degree of failure could be you pick the wrong business. And so now you're in a business that you don't particularly like or enjoy, and now you need to deal with it until you can exit, sell, whatever it is for that business. You could make the wrong marketing decisions in your business. You can advertise in the wrong place. Your business could lose money, right? You could wind up closing your doors. There's all these different failures that can occur, right? So I think what happens is when we don't identify what our actual fear of failure is, and so our brain will typically just automatically go to the worst case scenario without identifying and actually laying out what all the different failures could be and what the worst case scenario is. So we just had a situation where involved in a legal thing. And I told my wife about it, and I said, look, worst case scenario is we just pay it, and it is what it is. That's the worst case scenario. So now that we know the worst case scenario, and I feel comfortable with it, I don't want that to happen. Then now let's figure out a way to make sure that doesn't happen, right? And specifically, I don't know if I should. I'm not going to share it at this point. Maybe another episode. I'll share it. I probably shouldn't at this point in time. But yeah, I'll look forward to, because I think there's something that you could get value and learn out of this situation, because it's specifically tied into to business. But sometimes you just need to make peace of what the potential worst case scenario could be, right? And question to ask yourself is, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Like if failure wasn't an option, what level of certainty would you have in moving forward and taking the leap? And so when you start to think about it from that mindset, you realize how much fear is actually holding you back. Because if success was guaranteed, why wouldn't you do it? But then think about it, life would be boring. Then everyone would do it if success was guaranteed. That's a huge reason why everyone doesn't do business. Why everyone isn't as successful as the other person. Not everyone can handle hiring more people, taking that risk, spending more money on marketing and advertising, expanding their business. It's hard. It's scary. And so what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And what happens is failure is actually a prerequisite for success. That's the crazy part about this whole thing, is that in order for you to get the outcome you want, you must fail along the way. And again, we already established that there's micro failures. You must fail along the way. I had many, many failures before I even ever got to franchising. I'd started 9 different businesses that had all failed to some degree before I got to franchising. And without those experiences, that knowledge, etc., I may not have ever gotten to franchising. And and when I did get there, I may not have been able to operate the businesses in the way that I did because of the things that I learned from all the other businesses that I started. So if I were to have not done any of those other businesses because I was so scared to fail, I probably would not be where I am today. And then there were failures that happened in the franchises in all sorts of different shades of gray. But that also would not have provided me the experience that I have now. If you enjoyed this short clip from the podcast, you can check out another short clip right here. Or if you want to watch the full episode of this podcast, you can watch that here. And remember, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge that's power. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.